Well, hello there, my young friends. Welcome back to the Farming Simulator. I'm Colonel Failure, and this is my farm, and I'm mowing the lawn again, as always, because that's what we do here. It's actually quite an effective way to make an awful lot of money, mowing the lawn. We do it constantly. This area we're in here, you will notice, oh, look at that, that's a different colour of grass. Yeah, this is a proper ploughed, fertilised, grass-seeded grass field. This one, I made this in the hopes that that Johnny Touchdown, in his infinite wisdom, would actually be able to get the job done. And to be fair to the young man, he does do a reasonably respectable job of it, except firstly, he doesn't stop when the bale is being packed, and therefore you end up with big swathes, because you have to stop, see? Yeah, otherwise you leave a stream behind you of unbaled grass, which is not what you want. But if you do it manually, you can get all of it, which gives you a slightly higher yield. Now, obviously, turning these bales into silage. Hang on, drop her off. No, wait, drop her off. There. It yields goodly amounts of money. In fact, so much money does it yield that I've largely dedicated my entire existence to gathering these up in order to make a little bit of headway as we wend our way through our career. Anyway, since you were last here, quite a lot has changed, because it's about 3 years later. Yeah, I thought I'd give you a bit of a walk around. This is a second tractor. I've got 2 of them now. I bought a second tractor. My thinking being that I was repairing the original tractor so often that I'd just get a second one. This one, not quite as much juice. That's a nice shot, isn't it? Isn't that a nice shot? Yeah, not quite as much juice in this one. It's not quite as beefy, but it still gets the job done. It's certainly good enough to run the bale grabber, which I do on a regular basis. So I'll leave JT working the grass field, and then when he's done with that, I'll have him run the next one, which goes up that way. Now, that's not an actual plumbed-in field. That one, that's just pure grass, the real organic McCoy. And as I said before, he's reasonably competent. His biggest problem, and he might be about to do it now, we'll go watch just in case he does because he's an idiot, is he doesn't half like running over his own bales and getting stuck like an idiot. I mean, were I to stick him just on mowing with no baling involved, he'd be fine and he'd do a bang-up job, and I could then go down there with a windrower and sort all of that business out. But who has the time? What I've tried to do is make the process of getting these bales put together as quick as possible, and the time-consuming part is the driving up and down, and therefore by driving up and down only once, you get a superior result. I'm just going to wait for him to do a bale, and then you can see the streak that he'll leave behind on the field. That doesn't matter too much, because next time I plough the field, I do anything to the field, frankly. The next time I do anything with that, there'll be extra grass to pick up. So it all pays off eventually, mostly, sort of. Yeah, you're going to run over that one, aren't you? No, you're going the other way. All right, good lad, you carry on. Right, moving back down to the lower efforts. This is a cornfield we've got going, or is it oats? I can't remember what I've got here at the moment. What are you? Wheat. I meant wheat when I said corn. Yeah, it's largely interchangeable. That's all growing quite nicely. It's quite a sizable field, but it's growing quite nicely. There you go. Hi-ya! Super. Tree. Yeah, never mind that. I could just cut these trees down, but I'm not going to. No. I've relayed my little dirt track here. When I've got the money to throw away, I'll plant up some foliage there to make it look nice. I already planted a tree on the corner. It's nice, isn't it? Oh, look at that. Look. Oh, it's beautiful. But the major piece of change that we've got going on here is I've tweaked up my parking zone to be a little bit larger. Yep. Oh, see this? That's my combine harvester, that is. I got it dirt cheap second hand. So I picked it up. It does a great job, and it saves me the rental cost. I did buy myself a vehicle workshop, and I've got some fuel there if I need it as well. Why? It's no cheaper, but what it does give you is it means you don't have to run all the way to town to fix your vehicles up. I've got one mod installed now, and it's this. This mod, when you've done your stone picking, you chuck your stones in the back, and then it converts into lime. I thought that just makes great sense. I mean, it may not be scientifically logical, but I don't really care. The fact is that stones now actually have a practical application. Yeah, I know, it's pretty cool, huh? I've got my mesh fencing up, you see, that's all good. Do you want to see the chickens? Yeah, I thought you might. Let's go say hello to the chickens. Yeah, it's all good. I don't know if they're starving at the moment, actually. I've not checked in on them in a little while. Obviously, the lower field is still growing wheat. Am I going to try and break the world record? I might do. I don't know. We're running different machinery now, so it's hard to say what my plans are going to be. Let's hop out and check on the water supply. 2,000 litres. Fine. Everything's auto-selling apart from lettuces these days. That I felt was important. Lettuces are clearly a cash crop. Oh, bees! I've got bees. Yeah, I put some bees in, and they make honey. Honey sells for a moderate to reasonable level of money every so often. That's all good. No, you see, the reason for the second tractor is that I wanted to be able to monkey around with all of this caper while Johnny Touchdown was still touchdowning, you know? How are you doing for food? 700 litres, that's plenty. Yeah, the other side will be just the same. Yeah. Eggs, they make a terrific amount of cash. Eggs, they're great. Love them. Yeah. There's my bale fork. We try not to speak to that unless we have to. Now I've got... I'll show you. Now, see, look, after the last time where I had all kinds of fun and adventures with a flipping with a bale fork trying to pick up pallets. Pallet fork, that's what you want. Go on, just come on, line her up, and in you go. Wait for it, in you go. Just come on in, or go on, get on. Just would you? Thank you. I'm giving a live demonstration. Right, up she rocks. The major difference being is that with the bale fork, you're effectively stabbing the pallet, and then you've got a mission on to try and get the pallet back off afterwards. But with the pallet fork, no, they slide on and off like they're greased with butter. There you go. All right, so we'll grab some eggs. Not for any particular reason, you understand. Eggs are not accepted here. That's all right. I'm not trying to sell them. You're fine. No. I'm not trying. I don't know why you're being that way. Don't be that way. Let's go and just slap these on the back of the trailer. Yeah, because that's where they belong. Right. I have actually got the sides of the trailer down at the moment. I usually don't do that because I like having the lip of the edge of the trailer available because it helps to drag these off. But a little bit of that, a bit like this. Down we go. Yeah, and then just back her up a bit. Now put it on a little bit more. All right, and then give it just a little bit more wiggle. See, easy as pie. That, yeah, easy as pie. Easier, I would say. I mean, if you've ever made a pie, pies, a lot can go wrong. But no, not anymore. Yeah, I know. I can see those bales as well. They're obviously ones that just got away while Johnny was doing his business. They escaped down the hill. I leave them there as mementos for posterity. Yes, I do. Yeah. Right. Okay. We'll switch to Senor Speedy here for the remainder of the tour. Come on, Senor. Let's rock. Now, there are several options for passive income that you can have in the game. The greenhouse is one of the most widely known. If you just set it to auto sell, keep it topped up with water, have 4 or 5 of them, it will easily make you enough money. Other options include solar generators like that one. Just brings in passive money. Pay for it once and you're golden. Keep it on the road. Yeah, I know, it's just the steering's a little bit sluggish. It reacts later than you want it to. Yeah. I'm no longer renting anything. I bought me what's it called? Bowser. Yeah. I bought my Bowser. That's all good. Yeah, I might have made about $250,000 a year in overall sales. but that doesn't mean that it's I've got any more money. Have I touched grapes? Well, I think that's a personal question, but no, I haven't. I've left the grapes alone for the time being. I want to rethink my grape operation until such a time as I can produce more of them and therefore make it worthwhile. Let's talk the big change. All right, the big change. It's just an action shot of me driving through a field. I know. Yeah, I know, you're welcome. I bought a factory. Yeah. And the factory that I bought is this one over here. This bad boy is where I now sell my wheat when I'm done. Or rather, I process my wheat. It all gets processed over here. If we go and have a quick word. Hello. Yeah, it turns it into flour. Now, flour sells for a significant more amount of money than the wheat itself. Obviously, I keep some of the wheat to one side in order to feed the chickens. But primarily, I let it happen, and it all sells automatically, and it just keeps the money trickling in. Now, the problem with passive income is it kills the game for you. If all you're doing is trying to pursue a bit of cash, it's very, very easy to do. I mean, I'd set up just a bunch of greenhouses. Not even that. I'd just set up a bunch of solar panels, just let them run. And I've done that before in Farm Sim 19. As I maxed out my loan, bought as many solar panels as possible, and then repaid the loan from the income coming in off the solar panels. And then every time I had enough money, I'd buy another solar panel. Yeah. Anyway, here's the output flour, because I didn't sell all of it. Each of these is 1,000 litres. Sells for a reasonable chunk of money, but not life changing. Anyway, the point I was making is, if you were to, I bought the whole of this. The downside to buying this, oh no, I'm off topic again. The downside to buying it is you can't decorate it. I personally believe that I should be able to, remove these flags. I find them obnoxious. Or that bicycle rack. That's not a lifestyle I'm choosing to advocate. But no, you're stuck with it as is. Now, obviously, you can build your own flour processing plant on your own land. But my land's a right mess, and therefore, to get back on topic, because this all does kind of tie into one central concept. Therefore, what? Get back on point. Yeah, playing with passive income. It just strips the fun out of the game. The fun out of the game is, I have to plan ahead and carefully manage my expenditure to ensure that I can afford to do everything I need to do as and when I need to do it. There is a reason I'm driving back here. There you go. I want a tractor, you see. Yeah. Excuse me. Right. So, no, but I am going to... I'm going to set up a passive income nonsense maker purely to cover the cost of terraforming. Because all of this slope-based business it's all well and good. But as it stands, it's going to be, I don't know, I've done, 4 years maybe in-game so far. I think it's going to be another 15, maybe 20 years before I've got anything like the amount of ground that I want terraformed. Now, the other option would be to pick up the field next door, he says. Well, let's go and have a look. Hang on. Right, go over here. Switch to fields. You're in the wrong place. Fields. Is that it? No. Yes. Farmland. Yeah. Go on. Right. Okay. So I own this one. If I were to buy 15, which is the flat bit down the bottom I'm always mucking about with, that's 250 grand. Yeah. Now I own the factory here, so what about 21? 92k. That's 1 year's harvest to pick up a bit of flat land, and then use that to put all the farm buildings that I want. That is actually a pretty good idea. Yeah. I want to make cakes and wine. You see, cakes and wine is what I want to make. And I'm not going to be able to do that without placing cake and wine buildings. But the only sort of flattish sections I've got are down here at the bottom, right, where I've got my wheat growing, and then up the top there is some land that could be worked there. Now I've fiddled with the terrain monkeying in a few places. I don't. Was this one? No. It's far more obvious than that. Is it? Yeah. Do you think it will be obvious when we get there? Yeah. Here. I started monkeying with this. I ran out of money before I finished smoothing it. I was trying to smooth all of this to the same level of the road, thinking, oh, you could put your buildings in there, and that would work out quite well. In fact, it's almost done. I think this year's harvest you might be able to get some in there. A couple of road bales. Look. Oh yeah, and then I did this as well. Started building a plateau here that I thought, oh, I could extend that along a bit. And as you can see, it's not gone brilliantly. No, it hasn't exactly turned out to be a bed of roses, that one. So I was thinking, well, okay, make some passive income enough to do all the terrain manipulation you want to do. Sell all of the passive generators back again, except the ones that you're keeping on staff to cover your tractor running costs, and we'll all be good. And that's the only reason that I've got passive stuff now is to make the sting of maintaining tractors a little bit less. On which note, I'm actually going to do a maintenance tutorial for people. Yeah, because I know a thing or two. I've done research. Oh yeah, it's flipping in depth it is as well. Anyway, right. Anyway, I got bales to pick up. It looks like Johnny Touchdown's broken. Yep. I'd say that was a surprise, but I mean, I predicted it would happen. Anyway, we can go and get him out of trouble. Shouldn't be too much hassle. But silage, it makes so much money. Anyway, I've learned a thing or two about making this process more straightforward as well, and that's why we're going to pick up these bales, because I'll show you. Yeah, I've thought this. It doesn't happen often, friends, but I have thought this episode through. I've put some due consideration into what I was actually going to do. Grab that. There you go. Now, wait, no. Oh, Johnny. Alright, are you still operational, John, or have you knocked off for the day? I think he's knocked off. Okay, well, let's go get him back to work. Alright. Get online. There you go. Onto the line. Turn that on. Yeah. Turn this on. Yeah. Start mowage. Mowage commit. There you go. Streak. Told you. See? Streak. What's happening there? Alright. Touchdown. Good. Right. He'll carry on doing that. And I'll be getting bales out of his way, so that'll... In fact, I should get ahead of him and get the bales out of his way. Alright, against the clock. That makes things a bit more zesty, doesn't it? Yeah, sure it does. Right. Yeah, I love my bale grabber. It's the one luxury I allow myself is a bit of bale grabbing. Now, we're going to get in his way here, but he can just suck it up. There you go. No, we're not going to get in his way. I'm going to swerve off. I believe they call it waving off. Is it? Okay. Well, whatever. Yeah. You know what else? I mentioned previously, and people recommended me the Courseplay mod when it's polished up and ready to go. I might have a look into that. I said it would be good to set the zone for your helpers to harvest or look after or whatever, so that they don't get confused as to where the land starts and ends. But I had another idea, which I think is superior still, and that is a ghost vehicle. So it records you doing the stuff, and then it will just you hit replay and it's off and running. You've not done this in the wisest way possible. That's fine. See, it worked. What's the problem? Yeah, and that way, if you chose, like I did do on my opening gambit there, to go around the perimeter of the field before cutting in, it would do that. Now, obviously, with yields being different from playthrough to playthrough, that's not always going to work. Or even from harvest to harvest, the yield is going to vary. So it's not necessarily going to work. But I think in terms of setting out a course for your assistants to follow, I think there's some merit in there. Yeah. And then you could also do it with taking eggs to market or just generally making a nuisance of yourself, because the pallets always spawn in the same places. So you could record yourself picking stuff up and sticking it on the back of a trailer, and then the recording could just replay your button presses. But therein lies the challenge, because everything's got physics associated with it. And the one thing we know for sure about games physics is there is just enough of a random element involved in them to stop it from being predictable. And that's a good thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You need a bale to bounce slightly differently every time you make use of it, just to make it feel naturalistic. Because as much as you'll be packing more or less the same literage into one bale, what you can't guarantee is that the density is going to be the same. You know, the individual lengths of straw, hay, grass, whatever you've got in there is going to vary slightly, and therefore the way it interacts with the world will vary slightly. And that's before you get into the atmospherics. Oh yeah, atmospherics are going to have a big impact on how all of this stuff works. Is this riveting? Yeah, I suspect it probably is. Right, let's go grab this last bale, and then I'll complete my journey by showing the last section of the mission. Right. I want cows. I want cows as well. Because then I can... wait your turn there, van. Put that through. Yep. Right. No, because with cows, I'll be generating silage. And... No, not silage. Sewerage. Slurry. That's what they call it. Slurry and milk. And I'm going to need milk for my cakes. But the slurry will act as fertiliser, you see. And that'll be a... You know, that's another boon to my business. And I already make hay. Well, you make straw. Yeah, but I could make hay if I chose to. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right, I'll allow it. And therefore, you know, it's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build add-on businesses or add-on facilities now to the stuff that I've already got going on. Because that will work out efficient. Look at this. He's limed his field, but it's still covered in weeds. I imagine there's a gig available at the moment to sort that out for him, but I'm not going to do it. I'm too busy working my own property with my own machinery. I've got lots of machinery now, and all of it serves a purpose and has a value, and this trailer probably needs fixing, because I know the tractor's in good nick at the moment. Yeah. Anyway, I'm driving out here because over here is bale selling central, and I've worked out, having done 3 years of taking all the bales that I've harvested over the course of the year to the baling place, is that there was a smarter way to do things. Yeah. Now, it's not, you know, you think about it, you go, it's not actually saving you any time right now, because I have to drive all the way out here. But here's my bale storage area. Yeah, it's just somebody else's field. I just stash my bales here, and then I can pick them all up and drop them off straight away. Now, it doesn't save time in the long run, because you're making exactly the same number of trips, but this means that my selling period is going to be that much swifter when the time comes. There you go. Get them off. Yep. Drag it forward. It's a shame you missed last year's. I regretted not recording it at the time. Last time I did this, I managed to get about 8 or 9 rows of bales almost perfectly in a row. You may not believe... Oh, wait, careful. You may not believe it, and that's okay. I don't blame you for not believing it. It's me, after all. But I made that happen, and I felt pretty good about myself. And then to pick them all up, to take them down to yonder bale selling point, you just drive into them at warp speed. It's a lot of fun. Or you could be sensible and just snag the outer side of the bale run and do it properly. Anyway, there you go. Bringing you up to speed there, friends, with the progress here on the farm, where it's always a lovely day. The sun's always in the sky, and all that other business that people may use as an advertisement for getting into farming as a career. Yeah. Heavy machinery and sunshine. Beautiful. Love it. I've been Colonel Failure. Be sure to subscribe if this was in any way palatable, because, I can assure you, future episodes may be increasingly palatable. They may be. I'm not giving you any guarantees in that regard, but you wouldn't want to miss out just in case I'm right. Thanks for watching. Cheerio. So today's outro is a sponsored one, and it comes from Martin. It's quite a lengthy one, this, so I'll get to it. Hey Colonel, yes. Keep up your great work, mate. It's me, Squillucor, in the Fail Brigade. I heard you enjoy audiobooks. I do as well. Could you recommend 10 audiobook titles with what you thought of them of a sci-fi fantasy nature of? 10 audiobook reviews. Right. In a sci-fi fantasy kind of a fashion. I can offer a few. A Court of series. The Throne of Glass series. I haven't read any of those by Sarah J. Maas. Though a few adult themes in those. Children of Time, Star Wars Legacy of the Force series, and the Fate of the Jedi series, both set after Return of the Jedi. Star Trek Q versus Spock and its sequel. I'd imagine you'd enjoy the Q versus Spock situation, and those Star Wars series are in order. Q versus Spock, that's interesting. I don't tend to go for tie-ins, by and large. I tend to... Never mind, carry on. LOTF, Lord of the Flies. And then Fear of... FOTJ, Fear of the Jedi. Children of Time is great at seeing life through another life form's perspective, and then when they meet humans, A Court of and Throne of Glass are about fantasy races dealing with quite a bit. I hope that you might let me know what you think of them after you hear them at some point in the future. Not going to happen. I don't do fantasy. No, I find elves to be incredibly boring. No, there it is. Actually, this isn't 100% true, for reasons that will become clear. If you are so inclined to recall, I'm not. Could this intro be on a Farming Sim or Transport Fever 2 video? I'll see what I can do. Right, okay, audiobooks. I bought up my Audible library, which is I've completed all of the achievements that it's possible to complete on Audible. When I was doing 1,000 miles a week commuting, it was only Audible that kept me in any way sane whatsoever. So where shall I start? I'm going to start with a really good one that I read recently, and that is, hold your horses, wait for it. There's some good stuff in it. I'm going to start with Project Hail Mary, which is by Andy Weir. And this is the guy who wrote The Martian, which was then turned into the movie with Matt Damon in, right? The movie's not bad. The book is better. The sequel is wonderful. Yeah, it's just wonderful. I've heard it described as competence porn. And that is a very good description. But it's just such a happy book. It's so overwhelming with positivity. What's it about? It's about a space. The Earth is doomed. Space mission to go out and figure out why it's doomed. Only one guy survives the space mission, and it's what happens from there. All these will be zero spoiler. Okay, zero spoiler. Can't recommend it highly enough. It was fantastic. I couldn't listen to it fast enough, frankly. But there you go. Project Hail Mary. Absolutely love it to bits. Where should we go next? Oh, I know. Yeah, no, that's a good choice. Let's go with... this book is full of spiders. We'll go there next, by David Wong. Now, David Wong used to write for Cracked, the website that does a lot of kind of spoof stuff. It's very, very, very good. Now, that is book 2 of the John Dies at the End series. Book 1 has not been turned into an audiobook. Okay? And I picked up the series from the first audiobook. So from this book. No, I didn't. I think I read that third. I think I read... I read the third book, which is What the Hell Did I Just Read? And loved it. And I then went back and did Spiders. Loved that too. You can read them out of sequence and you might go, I don't really understand everything that's going on here, but it's great nonetheless. Either What the Hell Did I Just Read or This Book is Full of Spiders. It's got a subtitle. Seriously, dude, don't read it. It's fantastic. It is madcap. It is funny. It's fast paced, and at the same time, it's just tremendous. I again can't recommend it highly enough. Sorry, looking for the back button on my browser. Right, next up. Where shall I go next? Next, I'm going to go into one of my favourite genres of the moment, which is lit RPG. Now, if you've never come across it before, it's RPG literature. Games written, books written as though the character is in a game, specifically a massively multiplayer game. And you might go, goodness me, that sounds nerdy. And you kind of, well, but if you've played massively multiplayer games, it's really good. A gateway into lit RPG would be Ready Player One, but after that, there's numerous different ways you can go, and I'm going to recommend to you. I might recommend two series, but I'm going to recommend this one, which is the best. And that's Dungeon Crawler Carl, is what it's called. There's 3 books in the series, and again, I could not listen to them fast enough because it's funny. There's two primary ways that these go. Not funny as in ha 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 ha. It's written in a very droll fashion, and you will see the jokes coming, but it doesn't matter because you want the jokes. Give me them. I want them. There's 2 ways that lit RPG kind of take place. One of which is they are literally playing a video game, and it's always an MMO, and it's about how they exist within that. And so there is an element of the book that is based outside the game as well as inside the game. And then the other version is, for whatever reason, the world has been converted into a video game. Dungeon Crawler Carl, the world has been converted into a video game, and it's fabulous. It's by Matt Dinnerman. Very, 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 very good. Very good, very good. I'm waiting for the next one, and it's just tremendous. Let's go for, next series. I'm going to go for, what's book 1 in the series? This is going to be easier than I thought. I'm going to go with Destroyer Men next. Now, this is a classic. Now, Destroyer Men, it's about a World War II destroyer, and gets taken into a parallel dimension, chums. And in that parallel dimension, the geography of the world is largely the same, but the inhabitants of the world are completely different. And I'm 8 books into the series. I'm not in any hurry to listen to any more, but you'll crack through it in no time at all. By Taylor Anderson, Destroyer Men. It's very good. It's boys' own adventure kind of stuff, but it's very well done. And it often hits, highly recommended book series for dudes. No, that's great. So it's World War II kind of procedural aboard a destroyer, but in an alternate world where I'm not giving you any more details than that. Yeah, that's good. Right, where should we go next? Unless otherwise stated, none of these are lit RPGs. Okay, so wait, hold on. Yeah, I'm going to recommend this one's non-fiction. Brace yourselves. And it's called, wait, I might have to fish it up first. I'm probably going to have to fish it up first. I'm flipping it. Just loads of Destroyer Men sequels in my list. Could prepare for some of it. Oh, that's a good shout. Right, we're going back on fiction again. Peter Clines. He's done a couple of series that are well worth your time. He's done the Zombies versus Superheroes series. A zombie apocalypse has happened. There are superheroes in the world. How do they fight one another? I can't even think what they're called. X-Heroes is book 1. Book 1 is called X-Heroes. It's by Peter Clines. It's very good. It's a little bit pulpy. It's flimsy. It's insubstantial, but it's a good read nonetheless, and fun to listen to because... it's not. I thought it was Ray Porter, but it's not Ray Porter. Ray Porter's my favourite narrator, just because he's good. Where I am going to go, though, is a Ray Porter. I'm going to do 2 more from Peter Clines. He gets 3 recommendations in this list. First one is 14. Read that first. 14 is the first book in a series. It's a bit of a mystery. try and discover nothing about it before you read it. 14 by Peter Clines. Go listen to that. It's great. It will keep you interested. The follow-up, the sequel, a sort of follow-up, sort of sequel. It's called The Fold. The Fold by Peter Clines. Arguably even better than the first one, but it's set in the same universe. Go do those two. Take it from me, you won't be disappointed. Although my daughter says that Peter Clines can't write female characters for toffee. And she uses slightly stronger language than that, so I, take that with a pinch of salt. And retrospectively listening to it, kind of go, they are maybe a little two-dimensional, but all the characters are a little two-dimensional. But I don't care. I don't care that they're a little two-dimensional. That's okay. The book's that good, it doesn't matter. Right, where are we going next? We could go for... No, I see why we ended up here. You're not in your library anymore. It's just telling you books by Peter Clines, and I've read loads of them. Dan Lyons, this is non-fiction. This is a fantastic read, and if you've ever worked in tech, I can't recommend it highly enough. It's his first one, and I can't remember. I've got 17 flipping pages of audio books that I've done. Where are we? I'll find it. It's okay. We'll be there. We'll be there in a moment. We'll be there in a moment. In a moment, we'll be there. We'll be there before you know it. I should probably just go through other ones that are good while I'm looking for it, right? Yes. Anyway, the reason Dan Lyons is good is because he ended up as... This is an autobiography, almost, of a period he spent in a tech startup, having been the tech editor for Newsweek for ages and ages. Ended up working for a web firm, and just found it absolutely maddening, just baffling, and as a result of his experience there, he ended up as a writer on Silicon Valley, and everything you see in Silicon Valley is going to be influenced by a lot of what happened at this tech firm he worked for. It's fantastic. What's it flipping called? You could have just clicked on his other book. No, I know, but I didn't. Let's move on to the next series. I'll do the name of the book in a moment. Oh, yeah, Extracted. Extracted by R.R. Hayward. Now, this is super. This is absolutely so. I mean, this is proper high quality stuff. It is. I can't really explain it to you other than it's people snatched from periods in time and put together to resolve a certain problem with time travel. It handles paradoxes pretty well, but paradoxes are always tough to handle. Handles them pretty well, but the storytelling and the characterization is brilliant. Caveat. This is by R.R. Hayward. The caveat I'm going to add to this is he's also done a book series based on spaceships. It's called Spaceship Earth or something like that. He's done a zombie series as well, which I haven't read. It's called... Wait for it. Wait, is it that one? The L4 drop is book 2 in the Code series and the first book in the Code series. Yeah, The World Ship Humility. Again, a good listen. But if you listen to both series, you kind of go, these are the same characters. So, yeah, and that's okay, I guess. Right, moving on. Next, we'll go with the Bobbyverse. Again, sorry, I mean, everything I'm trying to read is right behind my camera. We Are Legion. No, is that the first one? Yeah, it is. We Are Legion, We Are Bob is the first book. It's by Dennis E. Taylor. It's great. It's more competence porn. It's if you enjoy people being good at what they do, this will delight you. The first 2 books are great. The third book was and I haven't done the fourth one. So, but the first 2 books are brilliant. Absolutely love them to bits. I just want to find this one more. I'm probably about there. So it would be remiss of me not to include Scott Sigler in this list. Go pick up anything you like by Scott Sigler. Absolutely anything you like. What makes him stand out is he does his own narration. And it's very good. I love the GFL series, the Galactic Football League. it's meant for kind of teens, the Galactic Football League, but it doesn't matter. It's just a good yarn, a good romp. And it's American football with aliens. And if you can't get behind American football with aliens, well, you won't. The lead character's a bit of a dipstick to start off with, but he improves, and that's part of the reason. Next up, read anything you like by Michael Lewis. Anything at all, absolutely anything at all. He's the guy behind Moneyball, The Big Short, Boomerang. These are investigative books that look into a weird phenomena, but his style of writing is brilliant, is great. He writes so well. Go read anything you like, and you'll have a good time. Even if you've seen the movie Moneyball, it is worth reading the book because it actually explains it a little bit better. You get the sense of the point of it in the movie, but it is far superior in the book. Next one. This one might be a little bit contentious potentially. It's called The Power, and it's by Naomi Alderman. Herself put me onto this one, and it's a really good read. It's about it. It's a what if scenario whereby all of a sudden women were physically more powerful than men. I won't explain, and it's then kind of an exploration of the world as the new normal kind of goes on. It's quite an uncomfortable read in some places, but it's very, very well thought through. And again, it might bounce off you because obviously, anything feminist is going to be. It depends on your worldview, right? As to whether or not you'll appreciate it. I think enjoy is the wrong word. It's a very good book. That on the flip side, I read The Handmaid's Tale, and just couldn't get into it. I read the whole thing, and throughout the whole thing, I just kind of went, I don't get what the fuss is about this book. The scenario being painted is really bad, but I can't associate with anything that's going on. The Power, on the other hand, I can associate with lots of what's going on in that, and it's really, really good. So it's a good thought provoker. Most definitely a good thought provoker. All politics aside, it's a good thought provoker. There you go. Equally, The Rivers of London by Ben Aronovich, and Ben is actually a backer of this channel. Good lad. We met because of Rivers of London, and so herself again put me onto Rivers of London initially, and so she followed Ben on Twitter, and at one point just before Transport Fever 2 came, during Transport Fever at some point, it was kind of going like, he tweeted, I've got to wait for my new laptop to turn out so that I can go and play Transport Fever some more. And she goes, oh, you ought to get onto him. And so I sent a cheeky tweet along the lines of, well, while you're waiting, you could always watch a video on the topic. And he goes, I've already seen them all. Where's the next one? And I went, author I like watches my videos. Nice. But bias aside, the Rivers of London is great. It's about magic is real, and these are the magic cops in London. So it's a police procedural plus magic, and for no other reason at all, the narration is just very, very good. The narrator is Cobner Holbrook Smith, and he's very, very good. Just exactly the kind of dry delivery that you want in this situation. It's just great. It's called this book is full of spiders. Seriously, dude, don't touch it. There you are. All right. Right. I'm just looking for the last one. I'm looking for the last one. I've done more than 10 already, and I could do a significant amount more than this because I've been quite lucky in listening to a lot of really good books. I've listened to some stinkers. I've started listening to series, and I just kind of got 2 or 3 into it and just gone, no, I can't take any more of this. Let's have a look. Where's it gone? I'm going to have to look it up. Yeah. Hold on. I won't be a moment. Just stay with me. I'll do one more lit RPG for you. And that is the System Apocalypse, the series is called. And book 1 is called Life in the North, an apocalyptic lit RPG. It's by Tao Wong. And it's very good. This is another one where the world has turned into a video game. This one is slightly more fantasy science fiction kind of stuff. Dungeon Crawler Carl it's still fantasy science fiction sort of stuff, but it's also a game show. It just, I mean, to use a phrase I use on an occasion, it tickles my biscuits. It really does. Yeah, I was going to recommend Scott Sigler again, but yeah, he's done a 3-part series based on, I think the first one's called Pandemic or something like that. It's not about a disease; it's an alien invasion, isn't it? And it's you need a bit of a strong stomach, but it's great. It's very good. There's one moment in it that I defy any gentleman in the area not to just kind of go, oh no, oh no, but it's great. Yeah, it's great nonetheless. I've read 2 Warhammer 40,000 books. I have absolutely no need to go and listen to any more of those. I even went like there's hundreds of these. Some of them must be good, so I went looking for the best ones that had been done. So I read the start of the Horus Heresy. That was all right. I mean, to say it's po-faced is a bit of an understatement. And it was written by no, not that one. It was written by Dan Abnett. Now, Dan Abnett has written some absolutely great kind of sci-fi war books. In fact, I think he's done one called War and Peace, or War is Peace, or the Forever War. Maybe that was him. I can't remember. Hold on. But he writes extremely well. But now he's just getting a paycheck writing Warhammer books, which is a bit of a shame because his original stuff was terrific. I mean, I can't blame anyone for taking a paycheck. That's Dan Lyons, yes. Disrupted. The Dan Lyons book is called Disrupted. It's fantastic. Made me laugh. I mean, I've worked in tech for 20 years, so it just made me laugh. It's very, very, very funny. And it's incredibly eye-opening. There you go. That's my selection. I'm all over the place, but you asked for it. You got it. You wanted 10. I've given you probably 15 there at least. And I've got loads more where that came from. Anyway, thank you very much for your request. I'll be around when I'm around. Yeah. Catch you soon. Cheerio.